Good morning, Bobcats. Today is Friday, January 21st, National Hug Day. I am Krista.
And I'm a PC. Just kidding, Cienega. I'm Ryan, and you're watching
KCNW News. As many of you may know, last quarter a student organization was formed. This was called SAVE. These student activists wanted to keep their fine arts as is. Let's go take a peek.
Hi, I'm Kayla Martinez reporting for KCNW. Recently, there was a board meeting discussing the results of Prop 404. Some Cienega students teamed together and formed SAVE, Students Advocating for Vail Education. These students prepared a speech and spoke at the board meeting. Let's go hear what they had to say. Cienega students Janice C., Spencer Stenquist, Krista Pavlika, and Nikki Hernandez organized the attendance of many students to Vail School District Governing Board meeting. These students discussed how they recognized what the prop was specifically for, but also believed that since it failed, the funds could be allocated differently. They proceed to point out flaws in the budget and things that could have been cut. The most prominent point they made was about how Vail always kept the priority to reduce class sizes. Since the cut, the governing board made the decision to terminate 45 teachers next year. The SAVE students argued about how the cuts would increase class sizes and said that there were better ways to cut the budget. Now, let's see how these cuts will affect Cienega. I'm here with Principal Dr. Pena. Dr. Pena, how is the budget cuts going to affect Cienega High School?
They will definitely affect Cienega High School with the proposition that failed. It was predominantly for art, music, PE, and to retain small class sizes. So because that did not pass, we will be affected with the fine arts, physical education, and our class sizes will increase yet again.
And can you tell us some about the risks that are going to happen?
The risks are a reduction in force, and so we do have to make some cuts. District-wide, every school will be losing teachers. With the failure of Proposition 404, 45 teachers each year for the next 3 years across the district have to be reduced. And 404 was predominantly, as I said, for art, music, PE, and small class sizes. So we will have to lose some teachers, so class sizes will increase. We will have to make a visible reduction in our fine arts program and in our physical education program. Okay?
All right.
Let me just also add that 404 was the first part of funding cuts to our Vail teachers. But the state also has a $1 billion shortfall coming to education. So there are going to be a second round of reduction in educational funding that will happen. That could affect teachers, it could affect administrators, secretaries, support staff, so counselors. So even with that budget crisis coming up, and we won't know till after January what that's going to look like for us, we'll still be facing a further reduction. Bottom line, we want to do what's best for kids. Bottom line, we're really struggling.
All right, thank you. I'm here with Vice Principal Mr. Hassey. Mr. Hassey, can you tell us how the budget of cuts will affect the athletic program?
Essentially, with the state budget being $1 billion shortfall, it's going to be a domino effect. The most important thing that happens at Cienega High School is the teachers and in the classroom. Sports is secondary. And so ultimately it will hurt sports, it's going to hurt activities and fine arts, and it's going to be a ripple effect starting with the teachers. And that's just the way it is. That's the facts. To keep sports going, it might cost parents more money to keep it going.
All right, thank you. All of the changes are still unclear, but they will most likely be taking effect next school year. And just because these changes are happening doesn't mean our attitudes need to change, Bobcats. Let's have a great second semester. Back to you, Ryan and Krista.
Wow, what an inspirational movement. Keep it up, guys.
As many of you football fans are well aware, the Super Bowl is coming up soon. This week we decided to ask who some students think are going to play in it this year. Let's take a look.
Hi, this is Austin Malik, and I'm going to interview some of the Cienega students on their predictions for the Super Bowl. I'm here with Dominic Harney. So who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl this year?
The Eagles and the Jets.
Who do you think is going to win it?
The Eagles.
All right, cool. Thank you. No problem, man. I'm here with Sean Hanley. Sean, who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl this year?
The Seahawks and Patriots.
So who do you think is going to win?
Seattle Seahawks.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm here with Lexi Remidi. So Lexi, who do you think is going to go to the Super Bowl this year?
Steelers and Packers.
And who do you think is going to win it?
Packers.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here with Andrew Romney. Andrew, who do you think is going to go to the Super Bowl this year?
I say the Falcons and the Patriots.
Who do you think is going to win it?
Probably the Falcons.
Thank you. I'm here with Tyler Cook. So who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl this year?
I think the Indianapolis Colts are.
And so you think they're going to win it?
Yes, they are.
All right. Well, thank you very much. All right, so those are some of your predictions.
Wow, those are some pretty interesting predictions.
So this week I decided to find out where all those cookies we buy during Advisor Base come from. Let's go solve this mystery. Hey, I'm Krista here with KCNW News. Ever wonder where the cookies from the Bobcat Den come from? Well, this last week I've been able to go behind the scenes and make some of these awesome cookies. Let's go take a look. Hey guys, I'm here with Marissa and Tricia, President and Secretary of the DECA Club. So guys, what goes into making cookies every day?
Well, first we have our teacher, Ms. Franson, order the cookies and we keep them in the freezer. And then our TAs will bake the cookies during their class period. And then after that, we have to bag them. 2 go into 1 bag. And we sell them through the window and we sell them outside. And we take 40 cookies out in the box. And we can only sell 1 to each person, and they have to be Top Cats. Approximately how many cookies do you bake every day? Well, it just depends on if there's assemblies or how many people go to cluster that day. Usually cluster days we'll be able to sell more. And then for AB days we'll be able to sell a little less. And if there's an assembly, we have to take out a bunch because sometimes it's freshmen that usually go to the assemblies, and that gets rid of a lot of our sales. Does selling these cookies violate any of our wellness policies? They don't, because we only sell 1 cookie bag, which comes with 2 cookies to 1 student a day. So where do the proceeds from all the cookies go to? Some of the proceeds also go back to DECA's savings for next year's or this year's whenever we need it. And then we also let other organizations sell cookies too. Like 1 week we'll let them sell and we won't sell so they can get a profit. These cookies are made with love, Bobcats, so we hope they make you smile. Enjoy. Man, those cookies were delicious. Maybe next time I'll find out more about some other delicious food.
Last week, Cienega had a whiteout to show our support for the victims of the January 8th shooting tragedy. Let's take time to remember this act of compassion.
Friday, January 14th, Cienega students joined together to form a whiteout to memorialize the victims from the tragedy in Tucson. Let's go take a closer look. The morning of Saturday, January 8th, 2011, in a local Safeway parking lot, a tragic shooting occurred. A crazed gunman attended a peaceful gathering, Congress on the Corner, where Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords met and spoke with local Tucsonians. This peaceful gathering soon ended in tragedy. 6 innocent people were killed and 12 more injured, including U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords. President Obama declared this a national tragedy, and many people wondered what they could do to help. I'm here with Gabby Prochi. Gabby, how did the tragedy in Tucson personally affect you?
Well, I actually met Gabby Giffords when I volunteered at the Democratic headquarters, and it kind of shook me up when I heard that there was a shooting and everything. Plus, my family lives down in Oro Valley, actually, so it was really close to home.
And why did you choose to participate in this event?
I just want to show support for the families that lost people.
All right, thank you. I'm here with Alex Beavers. Alex, how did the tragedy in Tucson personally affect you?
Well, my little sister, she was around the age of Christina Green, who was murdered, and it just kind of hit close to my heart, and that's about it.
And why did you choose to participate in this whiteout event?
Because I wanted everybody to know that I supported all the people who died and the people who were injured, and yeah.
All right, thank you. I'm here with Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller, why was this whiteout significant to the tragedy in Tucson?
Well, I think it's important to show that Cienega High School, Vail, that we're all unified together and that we're trying to do something positive, right? So we have a group of students behind us here that felt it was important enough to show that we can empathize, our support, our love is there with the victims, their families. UMC doctors who have just been phenomenal, like they're my personal heroes now, the UMC doctors, physicians, Dr. Ree, Dr. Limon. And I think that it's something that we can do. It's something tangible we can do to start rebuilding again. And we have people doing something positively. It's a really good way to start moving forward again. And the food drive, the student council is doing a canned food drive, and that's one thing that we can do. Congresswoman Giffords, one of her projects and one of the things that she supported was the community food bank. So we have a canned food drive happening in January, and I want to encourage all of you students to bring canned goods into your AB classes, and also tell your parents about it. Have your parents bring canned foods into basketball games, wrestling matches. We'll collect those and give those to the food bank, and it shows that we're just behind them and that we want to make things better.
All right, thank you, and thank you for showing support for the victims of the tragedy.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Thank you. News station KGA 9 came to the whiteout and interviewed student activists Janice Cease, Taylor Plessy, and Briley Homme. These students discussed how the tragedy affected them and what they could do to help. We are reminded in the fleeting time we have on this earth, what matters is not wealth, status, power, or fame, but rather how well we have loved and what small part we have played in making the lives of other people better. President Barack Obama, January 12, 2011, McHale Center, Tucson, Arizona. Back to you, Ryan and Krista.
All of our love and emotional support goes out to the victims of this terrible tragedy.
And last but not least, a special shout out to Mr. Rowan's freshman class who took time to make bracelets to raise funds for the victims of the shootings. It would be so awesome if you showed your support and bought some. Anyway, that's all the news we have for today. Join us next week for another live edition of KCNW News.